Let's Dine Out California is made possible in part by Tobias Maynard DDS in Redlands, specializing in cosmetic, holistic, and family dentistry. Tobias Maynard DDS in Redlands. PearlyWhitesDDS.com. California Premier Builders LLC, serving Southern California with large and small home and commercial construction services such as remodels, roofing, windows, and solar. California Premier Builders proudly supports Empire PBS and the Let's Dine Out California show.
Welcome to another delicious edition of the Let's Dine Out Show, California. I'm food critic Allan Borgen, the Food Whisperer.
And I'm Izzy Bussey. I'm a foodie with an attitude.
Ooh, I'm scared. Today we're in Rancho, Cucamonga, the two great restaurants. The first one is the historic Magic Lamp Inn.
Then we're off to a Taiwanese restaurant, Tasty Pot, in Rancho, Cucamonga.
Really two great restaurants, so stay tuned, you're in for a real culinary treat. Okay, Magic Lamp Restaurant. This has a lot of history, and actually I want to let you know, as you can see, I have a Route 66 shirt because it's right on historic Route 66.
Yeah.
You look lovely because it's kind of an upscale restaurant, but you can come in nice casual, but you look very nice, by the way.
Thank you.
So I was going to wear my coat over this, but I want people to see my great Hawaiian Route 66 shirt. So let's give a little history about the Magic Lamp Inn. It's got so much.
Yeah, this restaurant was founded in 1955 by John Clearman. It's one of the 3 places in U.S. that has an open flame at night on the sign. The restaurant has a Bavarian feel to it, but has an Arabian Nights name. This restaurant is equipped with heavy wooden doors, stained glass windows, red brick, and Spanish tile. The fire pit is inside the restaurant, and it's in like a gathering area in the middle of the restaurant, and it stays on, so whenever the restaurant's open, it's on.
It's very comforting, and the lamp, we film during the day so you don't really see it, but at nighttime when it's black outside, it's beautiful lamp. Fire comes out of the top of it, it's gorgeous, and very unique building. They have a lot of banquet rooms, I think 4 banquet rooms. They do all kinds of events here, and just a one-of-a-kind restaurant. You don't see restaurants like this, lots and lots of wood, and then there's the food.
And also there's live entertainment here 7
yeah.
days a week. Also there's a wine cellar in the basement, and it's huge. I mean, it's a wine storage, and it's just, I mean, beautiful.
Very nice selection of wine.
Yes, definitely.
Award-winning, actually. So, well, let's get right into the food. How's that sound? Let's start with the diver scallops, $14.99. This is started with olive oil. Then they add 4 jumbo sea scallops, diver scallops are called. They're dredged in a little flour, and then they're like pan-seared in the olive oil. Then they add tons and tons of butter, lemon juice, parsley, and dried basil. And then it's plated with tomato wedges, and then the sauce is poured over the scallops and everything. Fresh basil is on there for garnish. And I'll tell you, this is just a tender, sweet scallops, and what a great dish.
I really like the fact that it's crispy on the outside, but it's nicely seared, but very tender and juicy on the inside.
And sweet. And scallops, there's something about scallops that are just amazing, the texture.
Yeah, and these are really big sea scallops, so it's, you can really tell, because, once you cook scallops, they shrink, so.
These don't.
They don't.
These are good ones, so. Next came the Chicken D'Angelo, $27.99. Now this has been on the menu for years, one of their signature dishes. This consisted of 9-ounce chicken breasts, actually 2 of them. It's flour dredged, pan-seared, and then it's grilled for the markings. It's seasoned with salt and pepper. Then they add garlic, mushrooms, artichokes, the roasted real bell peppers, and they toss it all around with the butter and everything. Then they add white wine, and then heavy cream, and a little salt. And they reduce it down to a really thick, rich sauce. Then they add the chicken breast on top of that. Then they pour the artichokes and the whole mixture over that. Then it's served with fresh veggies, broccoli, and carrots, with garlic butter, and fettuccine. It's topped with the chicken mixture and veggies. It's delicious. What's nice about the chicken was it's tender, juicy, it's a big portion. The sauce is magnificent.
Yeah, it's not overwhelmingly creamy, but it just has a really good texture. And I agree, the chicken was so thick. I mean, you're cutting into it, but super tender and juicy. I mean, as you're cutting it, you see the juice coming out. And of course, I love artichoke and mushrooms, so how can you go wrong with that?
And lots of butter. That's
Yes.
the theme of this restaurant. They don't kid around with flavors and stuff. Next came the prime rib. Now this is a specialty of the house. There's different cuts. Of course, we got to get the big one, $46.99. This is in honor of you. You like prime rib. This is about a 16-ounce portion. It's huge. Perfectly prepared. We asked for it medium, a little, we want a little pink, not too bloody and stuff, and it was. Slowly cooked, about 5 hours. A little salt, pepper on the outside. So all that gets into the flavor of the prime rib. It's served with fresh veggies, and you get a choice of mashed potatoes, baked potato, or rice. We had it with a mashed potatoes, and it's served with au jus and cream horseradish, which I love, and a fresh flower for a garnish. All I can say is wow.
Yeah, it's so tender, so juicy. And I love prime rib. So, really just enough fat. So, lined it so it gives that flavor and juice in it. Keep it moist.
That's one thing I don't like about prime rib. A lot of times it's real fatty. This one wasn't. I'm not sure why.
Not at all. And there's just enough so you can cut around it if you need to, like I do. But it's really amazing.
Now, when you're seated, you also get a nice relish tray, like they used to serve with ice, a bed of ice. And it can come with anything from green onions to pickles to carrots and celery. Sometimes they have radish. It has a little different veggies, but it's all fresh. It's a nice beginning, and then you get really good rolls, crispy rolls with butter. So you don't see that too often.
Nice and warm rolls.
Right. Next came the surf and turf, very popular dish. This is $37.99. This consisted of a 9-ounce marinated top sirloin that's seasoned and then grilled to perfection, and I mean perfection. Then it's served with 2 jumbo scallops and 2 jumbo shrimp that are grilled. And then you get a side of either rice, potatoes, or the mashed potatoes. We got this with rice. And then you got fresh spinach. So you got, when it's plated, it's got the fresh spinach, then the steak on top of that, and then you get the shrimp, the scallop. What a great dish. And what's nice about this too, it doesn't come with a sauce. So you really get to taste the flavors of the meat and all the different flavors of the shrimp.
Yeah, I really like prime sirloin. I mean, for me, that's one of my favorite cuts, and it's really, there's a really good thickness to it, so it's nice and juicy and
it's
tender.
about 9 ounces, they said.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Then the bone-in ribeye, one of my favorite cuts of meat, $47.99. This is huge, 16-ounce prime ribeye. It's seasoned and then grilled. Again, we had this one with a baked potato, huge baked potato. This must be about 10 pounds. It's a big potato. And then you get on the side the sour cream, butter, and chives. And it's also served with fresh veggies. And then it's topped with fried onions, which is really nice. So you get the crunch, you get a little bit of everything. And what a meal for this price. I mean, it's really worth it.
I know. This is one of those meals I don't think I'll finish here, but I'll be happy to take it home and chew on that bone by myself at home. And my dog's probably will be fighting over it.
And they have a lot of different desserts. We settle on the creme brulee with fresh raspberries and a strawberry in the middle with looks like a little chocolate sauce over that. And what can you say? What a great ending to an incredible meal.
I know. This creme brulee is huge. I mean, it's 2 people who eat off this. And I mean, after a meal like this, I don't know if I could finish this all by myself. I would definitely have to share it with
I've
somebody.
seen you eat. You can eat. Okay, chef, what are you going to show us how to make in the kitchen here today?
We're going to make today the shrimp piccata with fettuccine.
Oh, yum. I've had that before. It's really good.
It's very good. We sell a lot.
Okay.
And for that, of course, you need pasta and shrimp, capers, and flour, little oil.
Olive oil?
Olive oil, yes.
Okay.
You go one by one.
A big giant shrimp.
Yeah.
They could go out, what, 2 minutes on each side?
Yeah, about.
Well, you can see once it starts turning that wonderful color. Now, this dish you're making, you can also do it with chicken.
You can do anything.
seafood.
Chicken, salmon, any.
Pretty much any protein, yeah.
Just the sauce,
Okay, let's turn them over.
Nice brown, golden. Okay, now it's almost done. You put the garlic. Depend how much garlic you like. I like the garlic.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're Italian trained. I mean, that's
Yeah, but that's what I did for living for all my life.
Right.
Cooking Italian. So now the
Oh, look at
you see the garlic is
Oh,
brown.
it smells. Oh my goodness. Okay.
You need wine now.
Any kind of white
Little
wine?
any kind of white,
Okay.
dry wine, you know. Now, because the picata is always with the butter, so you need to put little butter. You know,
A lot of
don't,
butter.
don't worry about the calories.
That's for flavor, thickening,
Yeah,
everything.
and of course you need pepper. You know,
The
there's
tanginess.
you doesn't matter how much you.
Right.
It all depend on you how much you need, how much you want. Okay, you will see. We need little lemon, even though we have the lemon pepper very salty, but little, you know, because it's picata.
Okay.
And you will see it's nice creamy.
Oh yeah, look at it. The butter really brings it together.
Yeah. And I like to have oregano a little bit.
Oregano, okay.
Yeah, because that gets good. Now, I'm gonna put the pasta. Pasta is already pre-cooked. It won't hurt if you have little water in the sauce, okay? Because you need
Oh, liquid.
all the liquid.
Oh,
You
look
know?
how beautiful that is.
It's beautiful. If you like, you can put a little parsley. If you don't, that's fine too. Okay, this is almost ready.
Okay.
And now we're going to plate it. And that will go on the top. I want to decorate the plate a little bit. Here you go. Bon appetit.
Well, present it.
Shrimp piccata. You like it?
Well, guess what?
Here you go.
It's the hardest part is this.
You need a little cheese on the pasta. That will stick with the
I love the tang. I love capers. Yeah. Well, Singh, thank you so much for allowing us in the
My
kitchen.
pleasure.
What's nice too, they're open for lunch. And again, we did this early, so there wasn't a big crowd here, but usually it's crowded. The portions are very large. I mean, don't let the price fool you. You get your money's worth. And again, this is a real experience, and it's been been around since 1955. So it's got to be good, otherwise it wouldn't last this long. And it's a one-of-a-kind restaurant. You're not going to find restaurants like this around a whole bunch longer. So it's a real treat to come here, I'll tell you.
It really is. I mean, it has an old world charm to it. It really, when you walk in, you feel it. I love to come here and just check out the live entertainment, which they have live entertainment, and also check out all the stained glass windows. Each one is a little bit different. It's just beautiful property.
It really is. So, from the Magic Lamp Inn, right down the road, it's called Tasty Pot Taiwanese restaurant. Very interesting food. It's a lovely place, just a fun place, and you're in for a real culinary treat.
Definitely.
Stay tuned. Okay, here we are at a great restaurant. It's about 3 months old. It's called Tasty Pot. Now, this is Taiwanese food. Now, I've never had Taiwanese food. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Taiwanese food's a fusion of different region of China's food, and also because they were occupied by Japan, so there's certain elements would be
So different fusions of different
yeah,
cultures.
definitely, and they definitely have a variety of tastes and flavors, so spices.
That's very unique.
very unique of theirs.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's neat. Now, the restaurant itself, when you walk in, it's very comfortable, it's inviting, it's clean. This is like one of the cleanest restaurants. You can probably eat off the floors. I wouldn't suggest that, but everything is clean here. Great service. The servers are very friendly. They have a big mural of Taipei, and I just love the atmosphere here.
Yeah, and it's really kind of young, hip, like has a really happy vibe
that's
to
me.
it. So, yeah.
Young and hip, that's me. So. Now, in terms of, there's 12 dishes they have, 12 bowls. You can see the menu here. It's fairly large. Now, if you're a vegetarian, they make one vegetarian one where it's made with water with the vegetables, but they add seasoning to it. It's really excellent. And then they also have a tomato base, and they have a pork bone broth. It's cooked about 4 hours, so it's real rich, and that's what all the bases of are. Then they have a bunch of teas and side dishes that, on the add-ons it's called. you can get either dumplings or things like meat, and it's well worth it. A few dollars extra, but well worth it.
I mean, all the add-ons, you can literally add on more vegetables if you want more meat. You can actually try different kind of noodles,
Right.
and also the stinky tofu. So, you know, there's
That's
all
one of your
kinds
favorites.
Oh, no, it's not
It's an
my
acquired
favorite,
taste.
but it's an acquired taste.
Right.
I mean, and some people really love it. So
I haven't tried that one.
yeah, and then also they have a variety of teas, which are milk teas and ones without milk, and you can have it with boba or without boba. The boba influence is really a Japanese influence,
That's tapioca, little
yeah,
tapioca balls.
tapioca pearls, but it's a Taiwanese
Staple.
invention actually.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's actually originated in Taiwan, the whole boba idea. So it's you know, a bubble tea they could call them.
Let's talk about the procedure and how, when you get here, how to order.
Yeah, there's actually 3 different steps you start with. The first one is really choose the pot you like. Since there's so many different pots, you really read all the ingredients and choose the one you really like. As you can see in front of us, the 3 in front of us in the front is actually a smaller pot. Usually it's individual sizes. And then the ones in the large ones in the back, which is for somebody with a larger appetite or somebody who wants to share a pot to taste different things. So, you know, that's how you decide the first step. And the second step is to decide how mild or spicy you want it. You can go from no spice to mild to medium to very spicy and flaming hot, which is
we'll
flaming
talk about.
spicy. Yes. And then third step, like you described earlier, it's vermicelli, which is the noodle, glass noodles, or you can have rice. And then, of course, you can add one of the teas, which is really yummy.
Highly recommend that too. It kind of soothes everything down. So
Yes.
now can I start?
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
okay. Let's start with the first dish. This is the beef hot soup. This was $13.99. This consists of Napa cabbage, beef slices, vermicelli noodles, gnocchi mushrooms, taro, tomato, tofu, tempura, a little piece of corn cob, meatball, camboko, which is kind of like a fish cake, fried tofu skin, imitation crab meat, fish cake, clams, cilantro, and scallion are added at the end. And then they also comes with a beef broth seasoning. It's absolutely delicious. It's about 5 minutes to make all this stuff. What I love about it, the flavors, the combination of textures of flavors, very, very filling.
Well, there's so many ingredients in one of these pots. You really don't, you end up having a plethora of different flavors in your pot.
Speaking of plethora, let's start with the lamb hot soup.
Well, the lamb hot soup is $13.99. Starts with the Napa cabbage, lamb slices, vermicelli, gnocchi mushroom, imitation crab meat, meatball, fish cake, kamaboko, pork blood, rice cake, so it's a pork blood mixed with the rice
right.
cake, fried tofu skin, clam, sour mustard, brown beach mushroom, tofu, and cilantro. And then at the very end, when they put all these ingredients in, they put the lamb in a soybean and lamb paste. That's the broth, and they put it like the broth over it.
And they pour the broth over it.
Yeah, so the soup actually has the lamb flavor in it
Now
too.
it cooks on the stove. All these cook on the stove to a high temperature. Then they bring it to the table on these wonderful little hot pot type of serving plates, I guess you call it. Underneath it, they have a flame, so it keeps it nice and warm, and you can see the bubbling. And this is a very interactive meal. I mean, it's a good chance to talk, and just if it's a first date, this is great. If it's just a family out together, there's kids that come here. It's not just an Asian thing. Everyone's come here. It's just good food.
Yeah, it actually, you know, because there's so many different flavors and different, you know, you can really tailor it to your taste. Really, you know, I think any age group or any you know, nationality might find something they like here.
Right. Next came the curry flavor hot soup. Yum yum, $15.99. This consisted of Napa cabbage, slices of pork, the vermicelli noodles, tomato, corn. There's an egg they put on top, a raw egg, gnocchi mushrooms, imitation crab meat, kamaboko, again, it's a fish ball. Then they have, let's see, fried tofu skin, tempura, Chinese string beans, real thin ones, really good. Let's see, golden fish ball, king oyster mushrooms, eggy fish ball, which is kind of different, and then lobster ball. And again, this is all cooked in front of you, absolutely delicious. And at the end, they put either scallions or cilantro on it. This one had scallions. And then it comes with a curry powder and a curry paste. Now it's not overpowering. I like it. I like hot actually. This is medium hot. It's really, really good.
Well, I think you can adjust it, like we said, to the spice level
From
you
0
want.
to
yeah. So,
death.
and then if you get hit, it's not spicy enough.
No.
They do have sauces on the table that has a chili oil, so you actually can add to the heat. So I recommend just start with the lower. If you're not so sure, you can always add to the
Right.
spice.
Now the dipping sauces, again, you put it on the side. First, it's a what do you call chili oil. Then it's like a soybean paste. It's a little sweet, a little tangy, not hot at all. Very, very good. Then they have a garlic sauce, so it's great to put it in a small bowl and kind of dip meat in there and vegetables, and just a great dipping experience.
Next comes the Thai flavor pot, which is $16.99. It starts with a Taiwanese cabbage, Napa cabbage, pork slices, taro stem, gnocchi mushroom, brown beach mushroom, potato noodle, cuttlefish ring, fuzhou fish ball,
Very different one.
clam, crab, baby octopus, mussel, shrimp, tempura, meatball, imitation crab meat, and topped with cilantro. The base of the soup is basically a Thai paste, and they put it at the very end. They pour the broth over it, and then they simmer it on their stove for about 5 or 10 minutes. Then they bring it to the table, just like the other ones.
It's nice. It had a little tanginess to it. It had a nice Thai flavor to it. Again, you can have it as hot as you want, and I like Thai food, and I thought this was really good.
Yeah, it's kind of sweet and sour a little bit,
Yeah.
so I really like it. I like the
You
flavor.
enjoyed that one. So, then they had a seafood lobster hot soup, $18.99.
Yeah, that one starts with a Napa cabbage, lobster, soft tofu, vermicelli, gnocchi mushroom, seaweed knot, brown beach mushroom, zucchini, black mushroom, king oyster mushroom, taro, shrimp, fish fillet, mussel, baby octopus, clam, cuttlefish ring, eggy fish ball again, lobster ball, kamaboko, and then topped with scallion. And then this base of the soup is a seafood seasoning. So they actually season that, and then once again they boil it and bring it to the table.
Absolutely delicious. If you like seafood, this is a great, great dish, and it's about a 3 to 4 ounce lobster tail.
I know.
So it's sweet and
so tender, so sweet and juicy.
very, very good. And lastly, the Taiwanese Supreme Spicy Soup, $18.99. I love hot food. And first of all, this started with a Taiwanese cabbage, then Napa cabbage, instant noodles. It was like a ramen noodle, slices of beef, beef tendon, gnocchi mushrooms, tempura, clams, this fuzhou fish ball, cuttlefish, which is like cuttlefish. It's kind of like what do you call it, squid. Then they have pork blood rice cake, pork intestine, fried tofu skin, brown beach mushroom, tofu. Gotta take a breath. Imitation crab meat, the meatball, soured mustard, fried tofu puffs, and then on the end it's made with cilantro. Sprinkled with cilantro and scallion, and they have a Taiwanese hot paste that they put in there at the end for the seasoning. This was stunning. Now, I love hot food, and to me, if you like hot, I had it again, the hottest you can get. He said, "It's really hot for you." I said, "Trust me, I can eat it." Well, it overwhelmed me a little bit, but the flavor's there, so it was very, very hot. So if you like intense hotness of it, go for that. But again, if you don't want chili, you can have it without chili. That's what's so nice. It's got a lot of possibilities.
At the end of the meal, they also have the Macaroon Ice Cream, and they come in different flavors, and they sell for $4.99. And they're just with toppings on them. It really is quite unique because they're individually wrapped in little box when it comes, and it's really, it covers like from caramel cookies and cream to mango. Something to definitely try.
It soothes your taste buds.
It does, especially after all these lovely flavors after here. It's kind of just, it calms it down at the very end.
What a great experience this was. I know this is the first time we had any food like this, and I was very impressed.
Yeah, I really like all the different textures in each pot because they really give you enough variety of textures. So it's not just you know, a crunchy or just something, you know, one flavor. You know, the seafood, there's different types of seafood.
Right.
You know.
Now this is our second restaurant. The first one was Magic Lamp. Now this one. Now people always ask me, do you guys eat all this food? The answer is yes, and proudly we do it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's show. Two great restaurants, a Magic Lamp Inn and Tasty Pot Restaurant, both in Rancho, Cucamonga. Highly recommend going here. Good food. So until next week, food critic Allan Borgen.
And Isabel Bussey.
Happy eating,
everybody.
I'm a foodie with an attitude. Yeah.
With an attitude.
Yeah.
Then we off to a Taiwanese restaurant, Tasty Pot.
That's it? That was good.
Yeah, and one of these really lasts me 2 or 3 meals. They're so, I know. And what I do is I take home all the leftovers. I add more water because the broth's still so tasty. I add some more veggies or some more noodles. So really you can make 2 or 3 meals out of each of
You're
these pots.
so thrifty.
Well, you know, I love to dine out, so, you know, gotta stretch my dollar that way.
Oh, you do.
Let's Dine Out California is made possible in part by Tobias Maynard DDS in Redlands, specializing in cosmetic, holistic, and family dentistry. Tobias Maynard DDS in Redlands. PearlyWhitesDDS.com. California Premier Builders LLC, serving Southern California with large and small home and commercial construction services such as remodels, roofing, windows, and solar. California Premier Builders proudly supports Empire PBS and the Let's Dine Out California show.